If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
The Elder Care Locator is here to help you live your best life as you age at home. Our call center advisors are ready to connect you with trustworthy local experts. Help is just a phone call away at 1-800-677-1116.
Being blind doesn't look how others may think.
Retinitis pigmentosa aimed to overwhelm my family.
It tried to cut me down. I know where to find support.
Learn more at fightingblindness.org, a public service message from the Foundation Fighting Blindness.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. A partly cloudy sky tonight, a low in the upper 20s. Mostly sunny and warmer again tomorrow, a high in the low 50s. And highs climb up into the upper 50s with sun for Friday. Staying dry through the weekend, temps cool. Currently, it's 44 degrees.
I was stuck in a state of panic and endless rituals. So I made the call.
Mental health care works when you make the call. Visit mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
We are the National Park Foundation, and together with you, we're creating a future where every person, every generation, gets their chance at an unforgettable moment. Learn more at nationalparks.org/foundation.
Small businesses are the heart of America. As the nation's largest nonprofit resource of expert business mentoring, SCORE has helped millions of entrepreneurs build their businesses.
Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood. And now, a guy who always reads between the lines until he sees a car coming, Pete Schwaba.
Welcome to Nite Lite. All right. It is Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're having a great day. Welcome to the show tonight. A fun show, a fun Wednesday show. I would say a slightly more fun than last Wednesday's show. And last Wednesday's show was pretty damn fun. So it's great to have you here. Hope you're having a wonderful evening wherever you are in our vast, gorgeous, beautiful state of Wisconsin. Conrad Krieger is working the board tonight on the other side of the glass from me, but I can see him. How's it going?
It's cold.
Come on. You're wearing short sleeves.
Yeah, but, I got a jacket.
Well, yeah, it's fall in Wisconsin.
Yeah. I wish it was 70,
I love that you complain more about the weather than anybody, and you are a lifelong resident. Like, what are you expecting?
And I'm expecting, 70 degrees.
Unseasonable warmth.
Yeah.
It's become, you want it to be the norm. Fun show tonight, folks. We have some laughs and some independent film talk. A fun question about disgraced athletes coming up. Rob Brackenridge will be here at 6:35 tonight. Rob is a very funny Appleton-based stand-up comic. If you don't follow Rob on his social media platforms, you should. He's on TikTok. He's all over TikTok. Middle-aged dude who has made a splash on TikTok. That is impressive. And he's also on Facebook and Instagram. But he posts these really fun little things he does with his mom, who is in her 90s and sharp as a tack. And I love Rob's accent.
I can't wait to get an update on his mom this time.
He's my ma. Here's my ma. It's just so fun. But, we'll find out how she's doing. She is his biggest fan, I hope. And he takes his mom all around. And Rob has some great gigs coming up that you're going to hear about. He's a very, very funny comedian. We have a clip of Rob will play in just a bit. And it's vintage Rob Brackenridge. So he will be here at 6:35. Then at 7:20, our pal Ezekiel Drews will be here. And Ezekiel is an actor and the founder of the Milwaukee Independent Film Awards. That's a film festival in Milwaukee that takes place December 5th, I think, is the opening night. And it's unbelievable the amount of... This is their second year. He's put this film festival together, and it's unbelievable. It's year 2. They've got a ton of films, and I'm very eager to talk to Ezekiel about this year because he's got 1 year under his belt. Always fun to see the progress someone makes when they're an entrepreneur and putting up this huge endeavor called a film festival because they are a ton of work. So Ezekiel will be here at 7:20. I don't know. Do you remember what he wore the first time he was on the show?
A pink suit.
A pink suit, and it was a dazzler. It looked great. And he's got like this bald head and the pink suit. He looked like I don't know. That's like a look where you want to brand yourself.
Yeah.
Everybody knows who you are. So I don't know if that's Ezekiel's personality all the time, but we'll see what he wears tonight on the stream. I'm sure it will be interesting. Lots of fun stuff. By the way, before we get any further, I have to say, All's Fair, the Kim Kardashian legal drama.
Did you watch it?
I have not watched it yet. I'm too caught up in 2 actually really good shows. So I haven't been able to sacrifice any time to watch All's Fair. It was at 0. Then it shot up to 6% on Rotten Tomatoes. Then it fell to 5%. It is now hovering at 4%. Still historically bad.
I saw a tweet yesterday, and it was a screenshot of All's Fair, and it's all the lawyers in like a conference room,
the hot women lawyers,
and she's wearing like a business suit, But the one thing is that she has cut out of it is by her butt, and you can see her thong.
Wait, what?
It's the funniest. I think I can show it to you.
Gotta find that and share that.
And the comment on it was she's wearing business sexual.
Yeah, she shows major cleavage. I mean, it's such a joke. You cannot expect to be taken seriously as a legal drama, I don't think. Well, if you have Kim Kardashian in your show, but it might have been her pitch. In any event, the show is at 4% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's pretty bad.
Apparently, she is going through law school.
I thought she was done.
I think she failed the exam.
She flunked the bar?
Yeah, I think she has to redo it,
I got to tell you, unless I was like completely passionate about the law or I had been wronged by a law and had that kind of motivation to get me through law school, she's already like a billionaire. Where's your motivation to hit the books? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's very weird that she's like doing the show well.
Right.
Like it's like people can get a preview of what you're going to get from her.
Yeah, right. Show us what kind of lawyer you're going to be. Here's a cool thing, folks. On December 4th, if you are in the Madison area, drop by the Atwood Music Hall in the Atwood neighborhood. It is a great, brand new, state-of-the-art facility. We are going to be screening a film I made called The Godfather of Green Bay on December 4th. Doors open at 6. The show starts at 7. It's about an hour and 25 minutes long. John and Gordy from the WMDX morning show here on Civic Media will be there to introduce the film and introduce me. They're sponsoring the screening. Compliments of Catherine Lake, who got the whole ball rolling. And then they're going to host a Q&A with me after the movie. The movie stars Tony Goldwyn, Lauren Holly, Thomas Lennon, Lance Barber, Eric Price, Rob Martin, Steve Seeger, and Mike Siegel, Mike Toomey. All kinds of great, phenomenal actors in this film. It's a who's who of comedy in The Godfather of Green Bay. I play the lead role because I couldn't afford John Cusack, but we have a great cast. It's a fun movie, kind of a feel-good movie, and it was shot in fall in Wisconsin, so there's some beautiful colors. Hope you can make it out to the screening on December 4th. If you do, the tickets are only $10, and $1 from every ticket goes to the Humane Society. There will be no animals in the crowd, though, watching the movie. They are forbidden.
Oh.
So that was a deal breaker for me because I have allergies. So, but come on out, December 4th. Should be a really fun night. John and Gordy, my Civic Media big brothers, will be there sort of piloting. Hey, and they'll be here tomorrow night and Friday night with the K-Man. They're going to fill in for me because I'm taking tomorrow and Friday off to go to a film festival.
You know, Rocker will be joining on Friday now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Terry said she couldn't make it Friday, so Rocker's always fun.
Rocker at 6:35.
Moving the bar band up a little early. I don't know if I like this, Conrad. All these changes. Schwaba goes on one day of vacation, and all hell breaks loose. No, that'll be really fun. John and Gordy have filled in before, and they're a lot of fun. So check out tomorrow night's show and Friday night as well, and I will be back on Monday. So we have, so we've talked about Pluribus, and I actually did, in one of my beats, I did a Pete's Pick. I made the pilot a Pete's Pick. I watched the second episode today. Here's my issue with Pluribus, and it's great, but that pilot was so good. It was so creepy and had such a great gimmick. The second show was kind of like a letdown a little bit. It was good. It's seeing how the character Carol Sturka deals with everybody having this blissfully ignorant curse on them. But that pilot was so great, and I'm excited to see where they take it. I did like episode 2. I knew it wouldn't match the energy level of the pilot because the pilot was that great. But check out the pilot, folks, and see if it hooks you. It's an Apple TV show starring Rhea Seehorn, who was in Better Call Saul. She played Kim Wexler, Bob Odenkirk's wife and co-worker on the show. She's very good. And the show is very good. And then I wanted to ask you, Conrad, we're both fans of the Chair Company.
Yeah.
You know, Tim Robinson, I think, is an acquired taste. You either like him or you don't.
Definitely, yeah.
He's such a spaz. In that last episode, we're at the bar and that guy's trying to tell him the information. What are you saying? I can't hear you. Speak up. Like, he's so funny with the mundane. Like, the comedy is very subtle. But what was not subtle was the end of the last episode.
Yeah.
So if you want to know if you're going to like the Chair Company, go to the end of the 5th episode, watch the end. And if you're turned off by that, don't watch the show. But and maybe it's not as funny if you're not watching the show because of their text exchange right before is really what made it funny. But it's a very good show. I really like it. And I'm...
I was really just, when he's in that chase scene in the basement.
The basement? Was this last night's episode?
That was Sunday.
Yeah, okay.
It was when he was walking through and he meets this man.
Yeah. Oh, the old guy with his wife.
He makes
them kiss.
I was like, what is actually going on right now? I was so confused.
I was laughing so hard. And what did the guy said? He was down in this basement. They didn't explain that. And he was cheating with this woman. And he said, no, if you want to gain my trust, you have to kiss my girlfriend and let me take a picture, right? So he kissed her. And he's looking at the camera. It's so weird. But it's so funny. It's a great world. So I'm digging the Chair Company, digging Pluribus, and if you didn't think the day could get any better, it's National French Dip Day.
I like some French dip.
Wasn't your dad's favorite? We did a favorite sandwich question like a year ago.
Yeah, that was his favorite, yeah.
Yeah, I like a good French dip. Does your dad like the Chicago beef sandwich, Italian beef?
I'm pretty sure he does, yeah.
He must.
Yeah.
It's like a French dip to the 10th power. So that's exciting. If you want to share your favorite sandwich with us, folks, tonight, you can. But we are about to unveil our question of the night.
Let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
Question. Question. Pregunta. Question.
Question.
Okay, I have a question. Questions? This question.
Domanda.
Question. Questions.
I'm not saying it's a national holiday, but it is Tanya Harding's birthday. So our question tonight here at Nite Lite is, who is your favorite disgraced athlete? I think I have a feeling who's going to skyrocket to the top of the charts, but there's a lot of them. So who is your favorite disgraced athlete? Share that with us, please. I will read your text on the radio. It's 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. Let me know. You can text us on the app. Or if you're watching the radio on Facebook, YouTube, or X, drop us a stream comment. And while you're there, give us a like or a follow if you're so inclined, folks. Do you have a favorite disgraced athlete, Con?
I would probably say, come back to me. I'm still debating.
It's kind of, I feel like the de facto choice is like OJ, of course. But there are a lot of other athletes that are accused of horrible things like killing, like Aaron Hernandez, former Patriots tight end, Oscar Pistorius, the track athlete who had the prosthetic legs. Remember that guy? And the whole world was cheering for this guy, and then he did this horrible crime. I think he killed his girlfriend or something like that. Ray Caruth was accused of murder plot, I think, if not an actual murder.
Ray Lewis.
Yeah, but I'm not I think Ray Lewis hung out with some bad dudes and probably for his own good kept his mouth shut. Or the Ravens probably would have been looking for a new middle linebacker because he just didn't say anything. I don't think anybody thinks he killed anybody, but he kept his mouth shut.
You know, I'll say this one. Quintez Cephas, he was a Wisconsin wide receiver, a couple years back, and he got accused.
Oh, yeah.
But he didn't do it. And then he couldn't play like a year or two of football, but he still got drafted, so good for him. But I feel like he didn't unlock his full potential because he had to miss,
that's
seasons of Wisconsin.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Especially, if he didn't do it and it still affected his career. Like Henry Ruggs is another one. He was going like 150 miles an hour and killed someone. I think he was a rookie. We'll get into all this, and I'll give you my pick when we come back, folks. It is Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
97.9 WGBW and WGBW.FM.
Hey, Northeast Wisconsin, this is Kristen Ambos with the Always On Point podcast and Point Mortgage. On Sundays at 10 to 11 a.m., you'll find me on the Civic Media app, as well as 1590 a.m., 97.9 FM, and all podcast platforms where we'll discuss everything mortgage, real estate, and market related. Any questions? Text them to 920-606-1156. Join me every Sunday.
Get ready for a night of unforgettable hits and dazzling harmonies. Under the Street Lamp is coming to Meyer Theater, featuring former stars of Jersey Boys. This electrifying show brings you the best of Frankie Valli, the Beach Boys, Elvis, the Supremes, the Beatles, and more. Live on Saturday, November 15th, one night only. Tickets are selling fast. Get yours now at meyertheater.org.
This Thanksgiving at Total Wine & More, find bourbons and Cabernets that you adore. Our helpful guides are so friendly and nice, so many bottles to try at the lowest price. So gather with friends as you sit down to eat, grateful for all who made Thanksgiving complete.
With curbside pickup available and the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Teachers are diverse, skilled leaders, innovating to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Teaching shapes lives. Are you ready? Explore teaching at teach.org, supported by the U.S. Department of Education and 1 million teachers.
Who is your favorite disgraced athlete? Ladies and gentlemen, that is tonight's question of the night. I think I want to say Pete Rose.
Yeah, that's a good one.
He didn't murder anybody, but he never really admitted that he bet on baseball. He was very, there was no contrition, no, I thought he was very arrogant about it. Now, obviously, the murder ones are terrible. Like Tanya Harding inspired this question, but her crime wasn't even really her crime. It was her boyfriend who took a lead pipe to Nancy Kerrigan's knee, which is kind of a jerk move, but I wouldn't say that's the word. You got OJ, Aaron Hernandez, Oscar Pistorius, Ray Caruth. I don't know. You could say Roger Clemens with the roids, Barry Bonds, maybe. I don't know.
Ryan Braun had some.
Braun.
He had some brawn.
He had some roid issues too. But let us know. 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. Answer the question. I'll read it on the radio, folks. Doesn't even cost you anything. That's a great deal. We have a phone call, Con?
Yes, Cindy from Appleton.
Oh, awesome. Cindy, how are you tonight?
Hey, Pete. Good. How are you?
Doing very well. Thank you. Great to hear from you.
Well, I'm going to throw a little wrench and say that I think my favorite wrongfully disgraced athlete was Colin Kaepernick, who really took a hit for something that he was doing right.
Great answer. And you're right. He was disgraced and he didn't even do anything. He took a knee in a peaceful protest. Yeah, I never even would have thought of that. That's a great one, Cindy. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Have a great night. Okay. That's Cindy from Appleton. That's one I did not see coming. Great answer. There's a lot of them, though. There's a lot of disgraced athletes, and I don't like it when they don't take ownership. I think that's what makes Pete Rose probably my choice tonight. So you need more time to think about yours.
No, it's Quintus Cephas.
Oh, Quintus Cephas. That's right. Now, is he in the league now?
No, I don't believe anymore. But he was on the Lions for a little bit.
He was like a really strong.
He was fast
receiver. Yeah, that's too bad that he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Was his career affected by that?
I mean, yeah, he couldn't play college football for a couple of years, I think.
But he got drafted, and
he still got drafted. But I think that kind of hurts the development.
Yeah, that's terrible. At 6:35, folks, Rob Brackenridge will be here. We have a clip of Rob's comedy. This is so Rob. I love this clip. I found this today on Facebook. Conrad had to edit it. There's a little bit of swearing, but we worked around it. And here is our guest at 6:35, Rob Brackenridge's comedy.
During Christmas time, they always have that one TV channel that's a Yule log, They had different channels, and one of them was a fish tank. It was just a fish tank with a fish swimming around in it. It was live action, And there was just one fish swimming around, and he had one of those long strings coming off of him, I know it's I prefer to call it a fish string. But this was the longest fish I'd ever seen. And it was not cracking off. They had been feeding him some fiber. He was like dropping a rope ladder to his buddies. Now I can't switch a channel till this cracks off. I had 15 minutes invested in the fish channel. I'm like, swim around, do some maneuvers, swim over by the bubbles and use it as a bidet.
That's Rob Brackenridge. He will be here in about 10 minutes. Very funny guy. What was the other one I sent you from Rob?
It was about the Wisconsin diet.
Oh, yeah. That was a short one, too. Can we get the Conan one in and that one before the break?
One or the other.
Let's do Conan. This is a great clip that I found. I don't know if it was on Rich Eisen's show or what, but Conan telling the story about Jim Carrey showing up at one of his parties where Conan's mom was there. Here's that clip now.
I lived here doing the late night show, late 90s, and I was living on, I think, 79th and Amsterdam in a rental. And I had a party, and halfway through the party, and my mom was in town, so she was at the party too, and it was my staff, and we're all hanging out and having a good time. I get a call on my phone, first cell phone ever, and it's Jimmy Miller, who's the manager for Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey at the time had just come off of 4 insane, it was that mania.
Yeah.
He was the most famous person.
4 number one movies like in 1 year.
In 1 year. And he said, hey, Conan, I'm in town with Jim Carrey. Can we stop by the party? We hear you're having a party. Can we stop by? This was not a Hollywood party. This was just I said, yeah, sure. Yeah, okay. So lo and behold, Jimmy Miller, and he shows up, and there's Jim Carrey. who I'd met like once briefly, but he comes in, he's like, hey, Conan, couldn't be nicer. Everyone in my staff's eyeballs, they're just melting. Like, this is not a guy who would ever have been on our show at that time. We were still struggling to make it. Biggest star in the world, and everybody's freaking out. And at one point, I noticed my mom is in the corner talking to Jim Carrey. And she's talking to him for a while. And you have that feeling that we've all had where you're like, she detaches, she comes over to me, and my mom I always thought of as Margaret Dumont in the old Marx Brothers movies. Yep. Well, Groucho, you know. My mom had kind of a regal air about her, and she said, well. And I said, Mom, what were you talking to that guy about? And she said, well, he's interested in comedy. And I told him my son had a struggle, but you stick with it.
I mean, that's gorgeous. My mom probably wouldn't have known who Jim Carrey was then either. You know?
Yeah.
So great. All right, Rob Brackenridge will be here at 6:35. Folks, after the news, our question of the night is, who is your favorite disgraced athlete? I say Pete Rose, not for the severity of the crime, but just because he was a jerk. And let's be honest, that haircut too. Comedian Bobby Slayton used to call it, he used to say, Pete Rose walked into a barbershop and said, give me the mo. All right, we will be right back. It is a great night here at Nite Lite, folks. Wednesday, we're talking independent film in hour number 2. Rob Brackenridge is up next, one of our faves. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite. Great to have you with me on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Now she's gone and I am free, and she can't do a thing to me. I just wanna dance the night away with senoritas who can sway.
From Denmark to De Pere, this is 97.9 WGBW.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. A final vote taking place tonight in the House on the Senate-passed funding bill to end the government shutdown. That measure will fund the government until the end of January, but does not include extending subsidies for health care premiums. ABC's Selena Wang has more on the vote.
But even if Republicans have everybody present, they can only afford to lose 2 votes. We are expecting most Democrats to vote no, considering the anger and frustration over the fact that after this weeks-long fight, they are not getting their key demand, which is an extension of those Obamacare subsidies. But look, you heard what Speaker Johnson said. President Trump has also been very optimistic that this is going to get across the finish line once it passes the House. It then goes to the president's desk for his signature, and all of that could happen within the span of tonight.
The cold blast continuing for a section of the Midwest and Northeast, and freeze alerts dipping as far south as Florida tonight. No winning ticket last night in the Mega Millions. It's now up to $965 million. This is ABC News.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. A partly cloudy sky tonight, a low in the upper 20s. Mostly sunny and warmer again tomorrow, a high in the low 50s. And highs climb up into the upper 50s with sun for Friday. Staying dry through the weekend, temps cool. Currently, it's 44 degrees.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
Is getting vaccinated on your to-do list? We can help you check that off.
You've got this.
Yes, you do. See how we've got you at yougotthis.usaging.org. A message from the Aging and Disability Vaccination Collaborative, powered by US Aging.
Every 15 seconds, someone is diagnosed with cancer. If it's happened to you or someone you love, the American Cancer Society can help at every step of the journey. Visit cancer.org today.
The Elder Care Locator is here to help you live your best life as you
Welcome back. I'm Pete Schwaba. This is Nite Lite. Our question of the night is, who is your favorite disgraced athlete? Let us know. But we did get a text in regard to the chair company from the 920. Our pal Danny Wheels in Menasha says, oh man, the recent episode of the chair company really took the show to another level of dark comedy.
I agree.
Yeah, I thought it was whimsical. I don't know. It's a little dark, but I have to say, anytime you're watching a comedy and it literally, you see something that makes you sit up in your chair like, I can't believe I'm seeing that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Great stuff. Thank you, Daniel. All right, let's get to, speaking of laughter, this next gentleman, he's not going to make you think of dark comedy. He's just out and out funny, and he's one of our favorites here. It is my pleasure to welcome Appleton-based comedian, the hilariously funny Rob Brackenridge. Hey, buddy.
Hey, I'm
How are
back.
you?
Good. I've been sitting
Good to
in this
see you.
little square this whole time waiting to see you again.
Yeah, well, mission accomplished, and it's good to see you too. I always love when you're here, but if we can't have you in person, it's great to have you on the stream. And listen, phone would be fine too, Rob. You're that funny, and even if we had to do Morse code, I would figure out a way to make it work.
Yeah, I got a really good Morse code joke. Dit, 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 dot, 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 dit.
I don't know how to do laughter back on Morse code, but I would if I understood it better. It's a great joke.
Wow. Feel free to use that one.
I appreciate that. Hey, do you have a favorite disgraced athlete, Rob?
Oh, Antonio Brown, of course.
Oh, yeah. What did he do? He exposed himself or something like that?
No, he fired a gun at a boxing match in Haiti, and he was arrested in Dubai today.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, and he's right now on an airplane coming back, so that's going to be my favorite one. I'd like to get him fresh off the press.
The guy's got his quirks. There's no question about that. Okay. How are you, buddy? What's new in the world of? Tell us, how is your mom? First of all, you're so funny when you put your mom on social media. She's so funny and so adorable and so sharp, and she's in her 90s.
95 in January 25th.
Oh my gosh.
I know. It's amazing. I'm so lucky to have her, it's so healthy. And she actually came to my show. I was headlining at the Skyline last week with Mike Merrifield.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. She came to the first show Saturday, sold out, completely sold out. It was one of those nights where you could do no wrong. It was just like, whatever I said was perfect. It's one of those ones where you just want to keep it in the bottle. And,
Right.
and because every other show she'd come to, I bombed. This was the first one where she just saw me kill.
I have to be honest. I can't see you bombing, Rob. Well, your material's hilarious, but you're really likable. You're animated. How do you bomb?
Well, come on, you've been a comedian. I mean, you know what it's like. A second show Friday. That's all I have to say to a comedian.
Oh yeah, okay.
No
I
one
get
can.
that. No, everybody bombs. You're right. But when you say this is the first show she's been to, that made me think you had a string of shows, and that's what I had an issue with. I can't see you bombing in a string of shows. But
No, it happens every once in a while, but when it does happen, it sticks in your mind. I mean, you just can't forget it. You can't sleep for a couple of days afterwards. When you bomb, it's something you tell yourself, "Oh, it's nothing. It was just the crowd. It was bad," but you keep going in your mind, "Oh, I could have said this. Oh, I have a really good comeback." So, but it happens. You never remember the great shows. You just remember the bombs.
that's great. It's not great, but it's a great quote about stand up. What do you do when you bomb? Like, do you just keep going? Do you address, like, if there's a heckler, do you address it, or do you just keep doing your act? Because, some guys, the comics who get up there and they're so good when they bomb.
Yeah.
Like Andy Kindler, like you go, oh, he must bomb a lot, and he got good at dealing with it, and that's how he's so funny when he bombs. You know what I mean? But what's your practice?
Yeah, I had a friend who had a great line because he would bomb a lot. So he would say, "Well, you know that a comedian is only as good as his crowd, and right now I suck." And so that was his favorite line. So even if it was a good crowd, he would do it.
That's hilarious.
What I do usually is I slow it down because a lot of guys will speed it up. And when I was first starting out in stand up, if I was bombing, I would speed it up to try to get to the next punchline. Speed it up. Now, when I start feeling that the crowd's not with me, I slow it way down. So it's almost like so anyway, I do it as slow as I can, just so that whether or not they get it or not, that's just the way I deal with it now. And I actually wrote a joke that if I really hate the crowd, I tell them this joke, and it's not a bad joke. I was just tired of comedians. Is it okay if I tell you?
Is there swearing?
No, it's not.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's nothing wrong with this joke. See, I was so mad at comedians going, "Well, I'm going to close with I guess I'm going to close with a joke. What do you guys want, dirty or clean?" And then they tell some street joke,
Right.
So I decided I'm going to write my own joke, and it's not. It doesn't offend anyone. It's just it's the best joke, and I only tell this to comedians, or I tell it to crowds because crowds never get it, but comedians always get it, and that's why I know you're going to get it. Okay. So, wait. Two Jews walk into a bar. Then they realize they're going to be in an anti-Semitic joke, so they leave. So the bartender there you go. So the bartender turns to the drunk and he goes, "You're in this joke, aren't you?" And the drunk goes, "Of course I'm in this joke. Where's the gorilla?" And he says, "Well, I thought you were bringing the gorilla." And the drunk goes, "Well, I don't have to put up with this. I'm a professional." And he staggers out of the bar. So the bartender looks at me and he says, "Well, if I hurry up, I can get into a good traveling salesman joke." So he's traveling down the highway and he comes up to the farmhouse and he goes, "Knock, knock." The guy inside goes, "Who's there?" And he goes, "It's me. I was the bartender. Now I'm the traveling salesman." He opens the door and it's a gorilla wearing a bathrobe, smoking a cigar. And he says, "Hey, where were you in the bartending joke?" And he goes, "That was today." Yeah, there you go. See, you appreciate that.
Does it get a laugh? Do
No.
crowds? No.
It gets.
They just
It
leave
gets
in a bad
nothing.
mood.
Oh, it gets them mad. They get so angry because they almost got a punchline. Okay, what's a traveling salesman? Oh, I know. No. Oh, so it gets them really mad. But for some reason, comedians love that joke.
That's hilarious. That was today. That's great.
That was today.
Hey, you mentioned Mike Merrifield, and I saw on your Facebook, I don't know where I saw this when I was looking up all things Rob Breckenridge today, but you said you were the Cheese Balls. Were you guys a comedy team?
Yeah. We
That's
were
a
the
great
comedy
name.
team. Yeah, it was Steve Hartman, me and Mike Merrifield, and we toured around. We set up a whole bunch of shows all through Wisconsin, and they were clubs, they were theaters, they were just bars. We filled the entire couple of months with all these shows, and we ended up doing them, and it was a lot of fun. But it's hard to keep them going because everyone else had their own life they had to get back to. So,
Right.
but
That's
we
great.
enjoyed it. Yeah.
Do you know Steve Iatt and Jimmy Pardo?
Yeah, I love Jimmy. He's my favorite. He is my favorite stand-up comedian.
Oh, nice. Okay, well, he was on the show last week, and we were talking. I think we touched on this even, or maybe it was the last time he was on. But Steve Iatt and Jimmy and me did this show called The Three-Headed Monster, and we billed it as 3 headliners for the price of one. When all of us basically had 20 minutes of materials, like 3 middle acts.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, so we only work like 2 rooms, but Steve Iatt, who's hilarious, he's
Oh, yeah.
so funny as well. Watching both those guys was so great, but he had T-shirts made that said Three-Headed Monster, and the only place we did the show was in St. Louis at Catch a Rising Star. So it had all the tour dates on the back, just St. Louis, and then TBA, 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 TBA. It was kind of a joke, So I'm in this gas station, and I have that shirt on, and this gas station attendant says, he goes, "Hey, what's that Three-Headed Monster?" I go, "Oh, it's a stand-up comedy show." And he goes, "Oh, thought maybe you might have been in a band or something."
It'd be a great name for a band.
we would have been so impressed if I was in a band. My guest is Rob Brackenridge, very funny stand-up comedian from Appleton. He's got some dates coming up. We'll discuss those. Rob, you got a stream comment here from JB Thompson who says, "Rob, awesome that your mom supports you in your endeavors."
Yeah.
I totally agree with him. And then Ezekiel, our guest in hour number 2, says, "Loved the joke, Rob. I chuckled." So there you go. You're on a roll.
I
here
got a
tonight.
chuckle. That's almost as good as a chortle.
Or a guffaw, maybe, if
well,
things get really crazy.
I could only dream of getting a guffaw.
And then Mark from Prairie du Sac in the 608 said, "It wasn't bad. I gave a chuckle." Well, it's chuckle-worthy, Rob. I mean, that's something, right? And that joke is supposed to be when you don't like a crowd, right? And you leave them with it. Yeah, so there you go.
It's my punishment, and there's never been a better punchline than "that was today." You visualize that, that gorilla smoking the cigar with his bathrobe on, and fuzzy slippers, and he's like, "That was, oh geez, I need that money."
In reference to JB's quote, I hope I know the answer to this. Are you your mom's favorite comedian?
Well, yes, I think because she loved everything that I ever did. I was always in theater, so she would come up to me and she'd say, "You were the best one," and "Mom, I was the tree. I was the tree." She's like, "Yes, but you really, she is really my biggest fan." So yeah,
That
I would
is
say
so great.
whether she believes it or not, she would say that I'm her favorite comedian.
That's fantastic. I want to give you a quiz, if you're okay with that, a catchphrase comedy quiz.
Sure.
But we have about a minute and a half till we have to do a quick break, and I thought I would try to tell people where they can see you. You got some some fun dates coming up.
Yep, I'm going to be at Pasquale's. Now, I'm sure you've worked this one. Pasquale's in Negaunee,
Yes.
Michigan.
I
Remember
worked
that?
probably 8 years ago. I hadn't done stand-up in 6 years or something like that, and they were desperate because there was somebody canceled, and I was like, "Well, okay." I just went up, and they were very nice, and I only had to do like 25 minutes, so it was good.
And that's how they introduced you, too. This next guy, we were very desperate because someone canceled. Here he is, Pete Schwaba.
He's the only guy we found that had a car, so yeah.
Yeah, he's a nice guy, though.
Fun room. That's a fun room, though.
Yes, it is great. I love it. It's you gotta figure out. You gotta work. That's where you get heckle practice there at the Negaunee.
Oh, okay.
Because
Nice.
they all come out, they drink, and you're on a bowling alley. You're at a bowling alley, isn't? I think it's a bowling alley. I can't remember because I haven't done it for about 10 years.
Yeah, there's stage is like 4 inches off the ground. So
Yeah.
it's not like you
I'm
tower
trying
over
to
people.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember it, but I'm sure it'll come back to me. That's November 28th, Friday.
All right, let's pick up on your upcoming dates. We're going to do a really short break. Nagani Pasquale's on November 28th. That is a great venue if you're up north. It's worth a road trip to see Rob. We're coming right back with more with Rob Breckenridge. It's Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba.
I feel it's happened to me, and I'm telling you, it's too late to turn back now.
With locations in Appleton and Oshkosh, Insight Eye Care has been serving the Fox Valley since 1972, offering comprehensive eye care services. Their doctors also share a special interest in treating chronic dry eye disease, providing specialty contact lenses, and expert pediatric eye care. Find Insight Eye Care on North Sawyer Street in Oshkosh and Chain Drive in Appleton, improving lives by improving sight with quality eye care for everyone in your family. Insight Eye Care. Visit wiinsight.com to schedule your eye exam today.
There was a time when barbecue was perfect. A strong, reliable flavor that could be counted on. But then big manufacturers decided that barbecue needed to be zesty or spicy or sweeter or whatever. If you miss the good old days of great tasting barbecue, we'd like to introduce you to Grandpa's Barbecue. Made in small batches from Grandpa's original recipe. Buy yours online today at grandpasbarbecueshop.com.
Howe Elementary Community School is looking for volunteers. It's Amanda with another new Wisco 411, letting you know that a volunteer opportunity is available at Howe Elementary because they need family and friends of the school community to serve as guest readers or storytellers for classrooms ranging from kindergarten to 4th grade on November 12th. You can connect with classrooms to share a diverse story that offers a different perspective. Learn more by heading to WGBW.FM and clicking events.
I love playing sports, especially for my school. And that's because school sports are special. It's where it's safe to fail. It's where we're taught resilience, where our fear becomes confidence. It's where we learn to get back up after every fall. School sports are where 7.8 million students go from I can't to I can.
This message presented by the WIAA and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Being blind doesn't look how others may think.
Retinitis pigmentosa aimed to overwhelm my family.
It tried to cut me down. I know where to find support.
Learn more at fightingblindness.org, a public service message from the Foundation Fighting Blindness.
I was stuck in a state of panic and endless rituals. So I made the call.
Mental health care works when you make the call. Visit mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric.
Welcome back. On the stream, Dave says, Ray Finkel, Laces Out. That's from Ace Ventura, right, Con?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
I don't remember the character that well, though. That's Dave's his favorite disgraced athlete is from a comedy movie. That's not so bad. Rob Breckenridge is here, folks. Rob, you still with us?
I sure am.
I thought maybe you'd take a powder during the commercial break. But
yeah, I did powder my nose. It was a little shiny.
We used a clip of your stand-up where you're watching the fish take a dump in the string hanging and like you can't turn it off until you see what happens.
That's one of my favorite bits to do.
Oh,
because it
so
really
funny, isn't
happened.
I
Yeah,
never
it
saw
was.
that before. That's the funniest stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it
That's
was.
great.
I mean, that thing had to crack off sooner or later. I
It's
ended
a
up
hard
just
way
having to. Yeah, I just recorded it so I could, because I couldn't wait for it to happen, so I just recorded it and fast forwarded.
You had places to be. Yeah,
Oh
right.
yeah, I can't sit there all day waiting for a fish to use a bidet.
Can you imagine if he saw a female fish he thought was cute and he can't crack it off and it's got to be mortified. That's terrible.
Yeah, you can't get it. I mean, if you have toilet paper on the bottom of your shoe, that's embarrassing. But
Right.
this guy, he's never going to live that down.
All right, so you got Negaunee, November 26th, Negaunee, Michigan. Actually, a really fun room, and I think they give you a pizza. They're known for their pizza, right?
Yes.
You get a pizza after the show, which is kind of cool.
Yep. And it's the 28th. It's the 28th.
Oh, 28th. Okay. I have to tell you, when I did that date in Negaunee, a friend of mine, I was just going to go up and drive right back. It's like 2 hours from where I live. So I thought, all right,
Right.
I'll fill in. So a friend of mine was an FBI agent in Marquette at the time, and he and his partner came over to see the show. Well, you hang out with two FBI agents, the stories to me are 10 times more interesting than stand-up comedy stories at that point. So, and he's a dear family friend. So we hung out till like 2 a.m. Well, when I left the hotel room, I hung out there for like an hour. Then I went to the show, left my key in the room. It was like a mom and pop place.
Yeah.
So after about 8 pitchers of beer, it's 2:00 in. I'm not driving back to Marinette. So I got to go back to the mom and pop place, knock on the door and wake them up to get back.
That's the Triangle Motel, right?
I don't remember. I was there that one time, but they hated me. She was so mad, but she let me in, which was sweet.
That's the worst. It's one of the worst hotels you can stay at. It sticks in my mind as I call them ankle scratchers.
Why is it? Why is that?
Well, you get those little chiggers in your ankles when you stay there. So I always, that's where I came up with the idea for ankle scratchers. What kind of gig is it? Oh well, it's an ankle scratcher. That means they put you up at a Motel 6 or something.
Oh, I stayed at a Motel 6 once in Kankakee, Illinois. I don't know why. I lived in Chicago at the time, but my wife went with me. We get to the hotel. I thought, I'll make a night of it. It's a Motel 6. And someone just drew on the popcorn ceiling a bunch of male genitalia. And I'm like, well, and so we're laying there looking up, it's kind of got our motors running, but
yeah. It depends on how realistic it is, right? Was it the Sistine Chapel or was it a bathroom wall?
Rob Breckenridge is my guest. He's a very funny Appleton-based stand-up comedian. You can see him in Negaunee, Michigan on the 28th of November. What else you got coming up, Rob? You got quite a few dates here.
The next day I'm in, so the 28th I'm in Negaunee. The next day I'm in Sheboygan Falls at the Odyssey Fun Center. Woo-hoo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. That one, have you done that one yet?
No, but it sounds like there's going to be a bounce house there or something. Is that?
There probably is. It's got everything. It is a bowling alley too. So this one is definitely a bowling alley. And you can I've worked it a bunch of times in between bits. If a joke doesn't go over, you can hear, the pins falling down.
Somebody picking up the spare.
Yeah, someone picking up a spare. My career's taken off.
I like but the great thing about you, I know you kind of like to stay close to home. So you work these gigs that probably give you more material. I mean, you've worked big rooms and you've done your own specials. Hey, tell us about your special coming up. You're doing a new one. That's exciting.
Yes. Oh, I got the T-shirt on. Open bar comedy.
Oh, love it.
That's what I got paid for doing it.
Is that the opposite of a dry bar comedy special, or is it a play on words? Okay. So what does that mean? You can swear on this one?
Yeah. I don't know if you know Ron Feingold, comedian.
Oh, I do know Ron Feingold.
He is a fantastic comedian, a magician as well. I've known him for probably 35 years. I've been doing comedy for
wow.
37 years, and he was one of the first guys I worked with. He was like my opening act in Jeff Valdez Comedy Club in Colorado Springs back in the late 80s. And
Yeah.
and he's now doing these open bars, and it's kind of his counteraction to dry bar, because in dry bar, I don't know if you've seen my dry bar special. It's called
I have.
Legendary. Yeah,
Yep.
Dairy.
Love that. Yeah.
Hilarious. uh, but you have to be really clean, and they give you like a little a video of someone telling you how to be clean, and you have to sign all this stuff where you can't say the word poop and everything, and so I do that, and then with open bar, he just goes, whatever you want to say, just go for
Oh,
it.
nice.
So it was kind of neat doing those two, because you couldn't put them back to back. And
Yeah. I got a funny Ron Feingold story for you. Can we keep you for a few minutes after the news and give you this
of
quiz?
course,
And I'll
yes.
tell my Ron Feingold story. Great guy, though, yeah. And Rob Breckenridge is a great guy, too. He's going to stick with us and come back for a few minutes in Act 2. Ezekiel Drews is here at 7:20 talking about the Milwaukee Independent Film Awards. All kinds of fun here on Nite Lite, folks. Great to have you with me. We will be right back for Act 2 after intermission. I'm Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
I'm mistaken on a journey. You must speak with other names. Oh, if you hold me, you will hurt me. Beware.
Local news and timeless hits. WGBW, Denmark, Green Bay.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. On Capitol Hill this evening, debate ahead of a House vote to reopen the government. Republican Congressman Tom Cole of Oklahoma, chair of the House Appropriations Committee, calling for passage.
The legislation before us reopens the government, restores critical services, and puts an end to the needless hardship Democrats have inflicted on the country.
House Democrats lining up against the bill because it does not extend Affordable Care Act subsidies. Arizona Democrat Adelita Grijalva officially sworn into the House on Wednesday, 7 weeks after she won a special election. Right off the bat, the freshman signed a petition to release the Epstein files. This hours after Democrats on the House Oversight Committee dropped a series of Epstein emails, including one from 2011. It shows Epstein referring to President Trump as the, quote, dog that hasn't barked. The White House says the emails prove absolutely nothing. The U.S. Mint in Philadelphia producing its last circulating pennies today. This is ABC News. Two actors are diving into artificial intelligence, saying it's to amplify voices, not replace them.
It's Matthew McConaughey's signature line.
All right, all right, all right.
But the next time you hear it, it may not be McConaughey saying it. The Oscar winner now signing a deal with AI software company 11 Labs to produce a virtual replica of his voice.
My voice and I are joining 11 Labs.
You may recognize that voice as Oscar winner Michael Caine, except that wasn't him. It was his 11 Labs replica. The company now launching what it calls the Iconic Voice Marketplace, a platform where creators can request access to celebrity voices.
ABC's Sophie Flay. A California three-judge panel has denied the appeal of Tory Lanez, who was convicted in 2022 on 3 counts for firing a gun at Megan Thee Stallion. He's serving a 10-year prison sentence. There was no winner in last night's Mega Millions drawing, meaning the jackpot has grown to an estimated $965 million. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
We are the National Park Foundation, and together with you, we're creating a future where every person, every generation, gets their chance at an unforgettable moment. Learn more at nationalparks.org/foundation.
Small businesses are the heart of America. As the nation's largest nonprofit resource of expert business mentoring, SCORE has helped millions of entrepreneurs build their businesses for free. Find a mentor today at score.org.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. A partly cloudy sky tonight, a low in the upper 20s. Mostly sunny and warmer again tomorrow, a high in the low 50s. And highs climb up into the upper 50s with sun for Friday. Staying dry through the weekend, temps cool. It's 42 right now.
Teachers are diverse, skilled leaders, innovating to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Teaching shapes lives. Are you ready? Explore teaching at teach.org, supported by the U.S. Department of Education and 1 million teachers of color.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Is getting vaccinated on your to-do list? We can help you check that off.
You've got this.
Yes, you do. See how we've got you at yougotthis.usaging.org. A message from the Aging and Disability Vaccination Collaborative, powered by US Aging.
Every 15 seconds, someone is diagnosed with cancer. If it's happened to you or someone you love, the American Cancer
Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood. And now, a guy who likes pina coladas but hates getting caught in the rain, Pete Schwaba.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba. Great to have you with me. It's a Wednesday. It's a little chilly out, but not too bad. Conrad's going to complain about the weather regardless of temperature. Temp, as they say. But we're having fun anyway. It's 70 and sunny. Well, it's a little dark in the studio, but it's warm.
It's like 72.
72? I can live with that. Rob Brackenridge is with us. He is my guest right now. We will be back to Rob in just a moment. Coming up at 7:20 is Ezekiel Drews. He is the founder of the Milwaukee Independent Film Awards and a talented actor as well. So we'll talk to him about this really cool festival, which is coming up in early December. And speaking of early December, if you're in the Madison area on December 4th, ladies and gentlemen, stop by the Atwood Music Hall, the beautiful state-of-the-art brand new Atwood Music Hall in the Atwood neighborhood. I'm going to be showing, we're going to be doing a screening of The Godfather of Green Bay, a movie I wrote and directed many years ago, starring Tony Goldwyn and Lauren Holly, Lance Barber, Tom Lennon, and a whole bunch of very funny comedians that I've worked with from Milwaukee, Chicago, some really funny people from Marinette, Wisconsin, too. They're all in the film, and it's sponsored by WMDX, the John and Gordy show in the morning. They're going to introduce the film. And it is sponsored by Downdrins Distilling. It's going to be a really fun night. John and Gordy are going to host a Q&A after the screening. It's a comedy, and it should be a really fun night. Some of the proceeds will go to the Humane Society, too, in Dane County, which is great. It's a good event for a good cause. Please join us on December 4th if you're in the Madison area. It should be a lot of fun. Connor, are you going to be there?
I'm hoping.
Yeah, you can take some pictures.
Maybe I'll take a couple.
Yeah.
Bring a couple dogs in with me.
Why not? Bring a couple dogs in, yeah. No animals. Not allowed. They cannot watch the movie. We talked about Kim Kardashian's show, too, All's Fair. It started at a 0%. Nowhere to go but up. They got up to 6% on Rotten Tomatoes, and now they are down to 4%.
But the costume design on that set is just amazing.
They just went in, they had a meeting and said, lots of cleavage, please, for our legal drama. Good stuff. So Ezekiel Drews, we've got our question of the night is, who's your favorite disgraced athlete? I said Pete Rose. One of our regular texters is going to come back at me for Pete Rose. We'll have that discussion in just a few minutes. But let us know who your favorite disgraced athlete is. And we will read your text on the radio. We'll catch up on some texts in just a few minutes. Right now, we've got a few more minutes with our pal, Mr. Rob Brackenridge, who joins us over the stream from beautiful Appleton, Wisconsin.
No. I love that. Oh, I'm sorry. I just I love the fact that you're doing that thing in Madison. That is a great movie, The Godfather of Green Bay.
Thanks, Rob.
fantastic movie. And we were talking about Jimmy Pardo. He really encompasses the the club owner guy. That was hilarious.
The partying road comic. He's in like bikini underwear. And it's a funny scene. He's very funny in it. Very just kind of obnoxious and hilarious. So
Yep, you're great in it too. I wish I could be there for that.
Well, would it kill you, Rob, to make a road trip? Maybe you bring Mom down. It's rated R, but it's a pretty tame R rating, I will say.
Oh, Mom, she's used to that kind of stuff. Maybe I will. I've got to be in Duluth 2 days later. That's the other gig that I didn't plug. December 6th in Duluth. At the
Duluth's a great comedy town.
Yeah, and Dublin's
it's a great town.
Have you done Dublin's?
Has that been around forever? I think I did that in the 90s.
I think it has. Yeah, you do 2 shows, and they pack it both nights, and it's just great.
Yeah, I love Duluth. That's a great town too. Well, you got a lot of fun gigs coming up, and that special open bar comedy special in Florida. So you'll have to let us know when that is available for viewing. And congrats on being able to swear. That's fun. Very different than the dry bar. So have fun with that.
I got to come up with a name. I got to come up with a name for it. So if you think of a good name, just let me know, because
All right, we'll put our heads together. Any texters, if you have a good name for Rob's comedy special that he'll shoot in Florida, let us know. Your last one. Tell them what your last one is, so they can have that as a reference point.
Legendary, Dairy.
I love that. So I was going to tell you my Ron Feingold story. So we did that. The Hansons in Minneapolis used to have what they call the Rambo tour for stand-up comics. And it was like 2 one-nighters. One was in Devil's Lake on a Tuesday. Mm-hmm. Then there was like a Wednesday in Minot or something like that.
Grand Forks.
Yeah. And Grand Forks on the weekend. And that was a good room, the Westward Ho.
So,
yeah. So I took I don't know why I did this. I've always loved trains. Maybe I just want to ride the train. But I took an Amtrak from Chicago to, I think, Grand Forks. Ron Feingold I think he was the middle act. And because I think he had just started. Anyway, he picked me up, was nice enough to give me a ride 4 hours through North Dakota to Devil's Lake or Minot or something like that. And I'm not kidding, Rob. I'm in the car 60 seconds. And he's on the verge of tears. I said, "What's up, man?" He goes, "My girlfriend just broke up with me." So I've got 4 hours in a car with this guy I don't know who's going through this horrible breakup. I felt really bad for the guy. And we ended up having a really good time. I don't even know if he'd remember me, but tell him Pete Schwaba says hi. And he was just a great guy. As the week went on, we had a lot of fun. And a very good comic.
Yeah, and he still is a great guy and a really good comic. He did the warm-up for the TV show. He did for the the special. And he's
nice.
Great. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. We'll break a leg with the special. And do you have time to take a quick comedy catchphrase quiz?
Sure.
All right. I made these questions easy, Rob, to put more pressure on you, because there's no way you could get any of these wrong, I don't think. But no pressure.
Okay.
I'm using the reverse psychology approach.
Yeah, now I'm not going to get any of them. Thanks a lot.
No, you're going to get these. All right. Rob Brackenridge, Appleton-based comedian, is taking the Nite Lite comedy catchphrase quiz. Here we go. Which comic says you might be a redneck?
Jeff Foxworthy.
Boom. Out of the gate. Con? There we go.
Oh, I get a dingle, dingle, dingle.
You get to watch your language. Which comic had the catchphrase, it's a sick world and I'm a happy guy? This is probably the toughest one, but I figured you worked with this Chicago-based comedian at some point. And it's a sick world and I'm a happy guy.
I know it. And he died recently, right?
No, I don't think so. Unless you mean on stage. That's very possible, but...
No, the guy I'm thinking of is John Fox. No?
Oh, no. No, not John Fox.
Okay.
This is Larry Reeb.
Oh, yeah. Uncle Lair. Dirty Uncle Lair.
I should have said that's a tip from your Uncle Lair. Give him a sound effect, Con. We're gonna give Rob that one.
I get a tinkle. Sorry about the language.
That's okay. What comic said, I get no respect?
Rodney Dangerfield. Come on.
Boom. Which comedian said, can we talk?
Joan Rivers.
Nice.
Rest in peace.
And I'm just kidding. This is just a softball because you already referenced this in our exchange earlier, but which comic says, get her done?
Dan Whitney.
Nice. Yes. We would have accepted Larry the Cable Guy as well, but you could use his real name. That's fine. Here's a classic for you, Rob. He's batting 1,000, isn't he?
He is.
Okay. How sweet it is.
Jackie Gleason. To the moon, Alice.
Very nice. I love that. All right. And one more for you, Rob, before we let you go. Which comedian used the catchphrase, save up? Save up.
Oh,
he
boy.
would say something like, have you ever been to Chattanooga, Tennessee? And the crowd would go, no. And he'd go, save up. It's kind of funny.
That sounds like Foxworthy, too. Oh, that's the other guy that goes on tour, the redneck guy.
No, he is a redneck guy, but he's not part of that foursome.
Okay.
And his first name is Killer.
Bees. Killer Bees.
Yes!
Save up.
Rob Breckenridge, batting 1,000. Love it, buddy. You're always a blast. Good luck with the special. And thank you, as always, for being on Nite Lite. Really appreciate it tonight.
All right. If you do come up with a name for it, let me know.
Con, did we get any texts yet for the comedy special?
No, not yet.
Not yet. All right. There's still people chuckling, though. So we
can have a contest. We should have a Nite Lite contest. You know,
I would love name Rob's comedy special. I love that. We'll do that. When do you shoot this thing?
I shot it 2 weeks ago. So
they're going to okay.
Yeah, they're going to let me know. They got a backup now, so it's like they said 2 months or something like that.
All right. Let's have you back on before that, and we'll see what we can come up with.
Okay.
All right. Fantastic. Thank you, sir. Have a great night, Rob.
You too. Thanks.
Anytime. All right. Rob Breckenridge. Check out his stuff online, folks. He's so funny. Check out his Dry Bar special, which is also great. Rob is one of those guys. He doesn't have to swear. You know, he just has such a potty mouth. No, but he kept it in check on the Dry Bar. It's a great special, and he's got great clips. So check him out. Check him out at any of his dates he just pitched as well. All right. So our question of the night, folks, is who is your favorite disgraced athlete? Bridget from the 818 says, Marion Jones. I remember watching her run in the Sydney Olympics in 2000. I don't remember. Was that steroids? Con, go to the Google, will you?
Sure.
I'm pretty sure it was steroids. Let's go back. We got to play catch up here before we bring Ezekiel in. Tom from Monona in the 608 says, Favre. Forgot about Brett Favre. Yes. You steal money from a charity. That's going to put you at the top of the list. Thank you, Tom from Monona. John in the 608 says, evening, gents. My better half and I immediately said Pete Rose in unison. Dude got hosed. A few bets can't erase his legacy until he's dead. Rotten stuff. John feels strongly about this. And I have to say, John, his legacy is certainly his legacy. 4,000 hits, Charlie Hustle. He was great. But he didn't admit. I think the issue with Pete Rose was that they knew he bet on his own team. As a manager, I think. I might not be getting that right, but that's a pretty bad sin. But they've forgiven other people for worse, it seems like. Nick from Marshall in the 608 says, I think I would have to say Tiger Woods. These athletes that get disgraced in the days of social media, it's even worse. Because Tiger was bad.
It's like people kind of forgot about, Tiger Woods, like what actually happened.
Did.
It's just like, oh, he's the best golfer of all time.
Well, it's that, and it's like, I think if you don't kill someone or bet on your sport, some stuff is kind of forgivable, maybe. People are willing to look the other way. John also says it was personal in some way, I reckon. Political, either way, a ridiculous penalty to ignore his status. You might have a point there, John. He says Ty Cobb was a ridiculous racist. Should we erase his stats because he's a bad character? Not happening. Barbara in Waukesha says Ryan Braun. Second one to say Ryan Braun. Thank you, Barb. Eric in the 608 says Ryan Braun. Another one for Ryan Braun. He threw a honest MLB employee under the bus. Oh, I forgot about that, Con.
Yeah.
To save his own ass when he knew he was guilty all along. Saddest thing is he didn't need to do steroids. He was already a solid baseball player.
I still don't get why he did it.
Great point, Eric. That's a great text. All right, we are coming back. Right, Con? We're not out of here yet.
No,
we got more work to do.
We come back.
Okay, good. John in the 608 says, who really thinks Mr. Hustle bet? John is obsessed with Pete Rose. Bet on his team to lose on a lackluster day. Nobody. Said everyone except the commissioner. All right, we will get to more of your text. We're coming back with Ezekiel Drews to talk film festival. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite.
Let's go.
From Hobart to Bay Settlement, 97.9 WGBW.
As a U.S. Navy veteran and business owner, I've lived through moments where every detail counts, and I carry that into mass appeal. That's why I personally ensure we deliver top quality promotional materials like t-shirts, sweatshirts, and more to help your company, whether it is a local business or school, gain the visibility it needs to thrive. Your logo is our business, and we're here to make your vision come true.
Go to massappealwi.com or drop by their shop on Lineville Road, just off Highway 41.
Between all the holiday parties,
weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers. Oh, they're here. Hey, who needs something to drink?
we've been overindulging a little more than usual. Thank goodness we both added active liver to our diets to give our livers some much-needed support so we have the energy we need to enjoy the holidays.
Active Liver from New Nordic contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract designed to give your liver maximum protection and help it do vital jobs like removing toxins from alcohol, rich foods, and sweets.
Try Active Liver today and enjoy all the holiday treats with the peace of mind of knowing you're giving your liver some relief.
Find Active Liver online at Amazon, Vitacost.com, or iHerb.com. Or pick it up today at CVS, Meijer Grocery, or ShopRite. Enjoy life to the fullest with Active Liver.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
The Elder Care Locator is here to help you live your best life as you age at home. Our call center advisors are ready to connect you with trustworthy local experts. Help is just a phone call away at 1-800-677-1116.
This is Nite Lite. I am Pete Schwaba. I saw, we get these mufflers outside here on Washington Street in Green Bay. In the middle of talking to Conrad, he just gets up and leaves. Where did you go? Why did you do that?
Well, if you
just turn the light off.
If you look on the stream, your face is kind of frozen there, so I was trying to fix that real quick.
You thought turning the light off would do that?
It has done that in the past.
I could hit the side of the computer like at the TV, how we used to do that.
Just punch it.
It's kind of I don't mind the look. I look like I'm all about business. Yeah, we have these crazy mufflers here in downtown Green Bay. I don't know. It's like noise pollution. And I'm not a crotchety old dude, but I saw these people, there's like a convention or something over at the Hyatt or the Hampton, walking to get something to eat. There's like 20 people, and this guy guns it's like a dirt bike in the middle of town, and half the group like jumped 2 feet in the air, and like, it was kind of funny, but it's also kind of obnoxious. It
was a good medium for you.
Oh, it's terrible. Craig Anthony Kinnett on the stream says, Shooter McGavin. I don't know.
Well, he did. He never got the jacket because he stole it from Happy.
I think being a villain in a comedy is forgivable. Jamie
Honestly,
Thompson says no one said OJ. A few people have said OJ, actually.
a lot of people see him. They'll just go, shooter.
Shooter. All right. Let's move on here, folks, because we've got a great guest here who is joining us. He's been here before, and he is the founder of the Milwaukee Independent Film Awards and also a very talented actor. And I can see he's got some awesome getup on, and I can't wait to see it. So let's bring him on over the stream, Mr. Ezekiel Drews. Hey, buddy.
Hey, Pete. I'd say it's good to see you, but you're a bit frozen.
It's okay. That's a picture of me. Con, we can put a different picture up. Put my headshot up there, will you?
No, sure. Here we go.
That's my COVID headshot. I was going for the Frank Zappa look. Hey, man, I like your outfit. What is this? Explain, please.
This is because I'm the founding father of MIFA, so it's a colonial
Love
getup. So it's still a pink suit, as you were mentioning before.
Yeah.
Also comes equipped with, you can't probably see it through the green screen, but I've got pantaloons on.
Oh, wow.
So we're going full colonial founding father in a pink suit. So
I have to say, I really appreciate that because so rarely do I have a guest on that puts that much money into their wardrobe just for a radio appearance. It's very impressive, my friend. So you look amazing.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Do you have a favorite athlete, Ezekiel, that has been disgraced?
So, two come to mind. The first one was OJ, which I heard you were talking about before.
Yeah.
Which, the reason for that is mainly because when he was going through all the murder charges and everything, that was when I was in grade school. And, they were showing it in our classroom. They were showing the trial for some reason to a bunch of kids. So that was messed up. It's great. It is what it is. And then the other one that comes to mind is Lance Armstrong, because of all his doping and stuff. But the reason for that was because he was in the movie Dodgeball, where he gives this motivational speech about how he I'm giving up on, I had this thought I was going to give up, but then I pushed through it because I'm Lance Armstrong, baby, or whatever. And that was before he was busted for all his doping.
Wow.
So it's just a twofer. Now you can watch Dodgeball and it'll be it'll hit completely different when you watch it now.
That's funny. And my wife mentioned before I left today, Lance Armstrong, and I kind of had forgotten about him, but he was such a freak in nature. And, sometimes something happens. It's it's almost too good to be true. And then it's no, this guy did it. And then it's oh, no, that is too good to be true. It's terrible. So that's a great choice. Well, let's jump in to the Milwaukee Independent Film Awards, Ezekiel. I'm kind of in awe of you because I was looking at the website today. This is only your second year, and it seems just leaps and bounds over last year, and last year was impressive. You've got so many films, wall-to-wall films in 3 days. Tell us a little bit, for people who don't know about the Milwaukee Independent Film Awards, give us a little background.
So it's really funny. I was thinking about this because people have asked me before, where do you come up with the idea to do some of these things? The reason I started the MIFA was because my feature film that I made wasn't accepted at the Milwaukee Film Festival. So I said, well, screw these people. I'm going to make my own festival, and to quote Futurama, with blackjack and hookers and stuff. But there's a lack of both blackjack and hookers for MIFA. And the funny part was so the reason I made a feature film is because as an actor, I wanted to get this part that I felt was perfect for me, just from a whole background of being jumping back into acting after being out of acting for 12 years. Didn't get cast in this role, and I was like, well, screw it, I'm going to make my own film, and I'm going to make it, and it's going to be wildly successful, and won over 50 different film festival awards.
Nice.
And that person's feature that they were making never panned out. So to me, it was just kind of well, a lot of these things that I do come out of spite for other people. Right. And I just, I bite off way more than I can chew. And then I'm just I'm just going to do it anyways. So that's how this all comes
Spite
about.
is a great motivator.
Yeah.
But that's interesting, and that is something that you can, a little bit of revenge, and maybe not revenge, but anger is a good motivator. So you took it to the next level, though, and started this film festival.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, because last year I remember you said you would like to have fewer venues or closer venues. Did you achieve that this year?
Yeah, we went from 3 venues down to 2.
Okay.
So 2 days we're at UWM at the Union Cinema, which is a great partner of ours. We're probably going to be locking in with them every year going forward for either all 3 days or, depending. But also, we really do also like, if you've ever been to the Bend Theater out in West Bend, which is, greater Milwaukee, what we always like to refer, anything is Milwaukee if you're far enough within range.
Hey, Ezekiel, let's pick up right there. We got to do the news. We'll come back and we'll continue, and we'll hear about some of the great movies you can see if you go to the Milwaukee Independent Film Awards.
Sounds good.
We're coming right back. It's Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba.
If we could fly away on
97.9 WGBW and WGBW.FM.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. On Capitol Hill this evening, debate ahead of a House vote to reopen the government. Republican Congressman Tom Cole of Oklahoma, chair of the House Appropriations Committee, calling for passage.
The legislation before us reopens the government, restores critical services, and puts an end to the needless hardship Democrats have inflicted on the country.
House Democrats lining up against the bill because it does not extend Affordable Care Act subsidies. Arizona Democrat Adelita Grijalva officially sworn into the House on Wednesday, 7 weeks after she won a special election. Right off the bat, the freshman signed a petition to release the Epstein files. This hours after Democrats on the House Oversight Committee dropped a series of Epstein emails, including one from 2011. It shows Epstein referring to President Trump as the, quote, dog that hasn't barked. The White House says the emails prove absolutely nothing. The U.S. Mint in Philadelphia producing its last circulating pennies today. This is ABC News.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. A partly cloudy sky tonight, a low in the upper 20s. Mostly sunny and warmer again tomorrow, a high in the low 50s. And highs climb up into the upper 50s with sun for Friday. Staying dry through the weekend, temps cool. Currently, it's 41 degrees.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Being blind doesn't look how others may think.
Retinitis pigmentosa aimed to overwhelm my family.
It tried to cut me down. I know where to find support.
Learn more at fightingblindness.org, a public service message from the Foundation Fighting Blindness.
I was stuck in a state of panic and endless rituals. So I made the call.
Mental health care works when you make the call. Visit mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
We are the National Park Foundation.
Welcome back. This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba. Just a reminder, I am off tomorrow night. John and Gordy will be filling in Thursday and Friday. The K-Man will still be here producing the show from Green Bay, even though they are in Madison, and they are the morning hosts on WMDX, but they have a lot of fun filling in.
Some great guests, too, come.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
That's excellent. So tune in Thursday and Friday. Still lots of fun to be had. John in Madison says, Peter, turns out your amazing event on December 4th, sponsored by WMDX, promoting your new amazing movie. It's not a new film, John. It's about 20 years old, actually. It's called The Godfather of Green Bay. John continues saying, hosted by the talented duo John and Gordy, coincides with our company Christmas party. Very disappointing, John. He says, Melissa, his wife and also a regular texter, is the hostess, and I have chores. Can't duck out. So I am simply asking that you move the date out to that alternate date you had in mind, and we will just work out. It would work out better for all of us. Looking forward to an update. You guys rock. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I wish I could help you out, John. That'd be a bummer. It's as close as I'm going to get to you, John, right there. We're in your hood, and it's going to be at the Atwood Music Hall. A lot of fun on December 4th. Right now, speaking of independent films, we have a great guest here. Ezekiel Drews is here. He's the founder of the Milwaukee Independent Film Awards, and he is dressed as a founding father because that's what he is. This is his film festival, or the film festival he created, and he is also a very talented actor. He joins us tonight over the stream, dressed like a founding father. You're looking good, buddy. It's good to have you here.
Thank you very much, Pete.
All right, so you've got one venue at UWM, which is great, and the other venue is in West Bend. So two great venues. What else can you tell us? Is there anything different from last year that we should know about?
We actually have overall an increased total of the number of Wisconsin films being screened. We have a total of 39, possibly 40. We're going to see if we can get this last one in. Otherwise, we'll have 39 films from a mixture of Wisconsin and across the country, and some international films. 31 out of the 39 or 40 films are going to be Wisconsin made or from Wisconsin natives.
Excellent. Wow. I know. I was looking at your lineup too. You've got 3 days. Really, Friday's not a full day. So you have 2.5 days, and you just have it packed with wall-to-wall films. And you have a ton of films nominated for awards. Is that open to the public, Ezekiel? How does that work? How do you even have time to do all that?
So I have I try to keep it really organized, because otherwise I'd go crazy. But basically, the funny part is when I was trying to draft a schedule, what's a great tool for doing that? ChatGPT. Honestly, I remember last year when season 1 was around and having to do everything manually with run times and everything, it was a nightmare. But using tools to help, organize things really helps. So that way it takes some of that burden off. And then obviously you got to make sure you double check the math and all that, so that way it doesn't accidentally miss something. But it helps to use tools that can help, especially if you don't have a ton of people that are doing your programming lineup and everything. So just use the tools what you got, and you can make it work. But yeah, wall to wall, we've got as part of the screening schedule, that's packed. What's not on the schedule is we are going to have for sure on the 6th, leading up to the start time of 2 o'clock, we're actually going to have one, potentially two speakers that are going to be talking to filmmakers that want to network. We're going to have Rex Sykes from Mission 1 Billion, his nonprofit. He's going to come in and talk about some different stuff, especially networking and supporting independent film makers and coming in together about how to support each other, especially with our mission of getting indie film more recognized, especially in Wisconsin. And then we'll have a networking event, I believe at the Broad House on Saturday night as well, after filming is done. So we're going to have a lot of stuff. Plus, on Sunday, after everything is finished, the actual awards are going to be at the Game Over Bar, which is just down the road from the Ben Theater. So we'll do that following directly after the final screenings and Q&A.
Wow. That's a pretty jam-packed schedule. Sounds like a lot of fun, though. I'm sure you just get going on, adrenaline at some point, and you just keep pushing through, right?
Yep. And actually, your son, I believe, is his film Failsafe is going to be on Saturday night. I think it's the second to last film that'll be screened on Saturday night.
Okay. Oh, nice. All right. So I'll be in Madison on the 4th. Then maybe I'll swing through Milwaukee and make a whole weekend of it. So that's exciting. And I'm excited. I know he's excited to have the film in there. That's a film that he plays the lead actor in, and he helped out with the directing a little bit. But so that'll be fun. And what else, Ezekiel? What other films are you excited about? Is there a genre you like more than others? Are you more of a documentary fan or narrative fan? I know you make narratives, so I assume that. But for film festival purposes, what's your favorite?
You know what's great is I actually do love horror films. We didn't get as many horror films this year as we did last year, but we have enough to at least satisfy some curiosity. No feature horror films, unfortunately, but a few different shorts. So those will be fun for people to kind of get their perspectives on. I know listening to Craig Kinnett yesterday, talking about how Daniel Needs to Leave can be like a pseudo horror film at the end.
That was great.
Is definitely, it's a good film. The Midwest Goodbye is definitely a good one. So, but otherwise everybody loves comedies, a good drama. Speaking of Dan Wheeler, The Voice in the Vessel is a fantastic film that I believe it's just the second film for Dan Wheeler. And it's got Jason Buss in there. Jason Buss, it's probably it would be the best thing that I've ever seen him act in. So very excited for people to come and see a lot of these Wisconsin-made films. There's a huge production value for a lot of these films that you just don't think about when you watch, and you're drawn into these stories. And the cinematography, for a lot of these is just really good. Or just even getting creative, like Daniel Needs to Leave, where it was shot entirely on an iPhone 15. Like what that shows me is that people can just pick up a camera and go and make stuff. And that way, if they want to get involved in filmmaking and get recognized, you can do it. You need to know a little bit about how to do stuff, but there's plenty of stuff on YouTube. You can take, classes on acting. You can take classes on filmmaking. There's a lot that you can do to get involved.
That's a great answer. And The Voice in the Vessel is a beautiful movie. He shared that with me, a link, a few weeks ago, and I cannot believe the production value on this little film that I'm sure didn't cost much. It was really, really impressive. So what feature films are you excited about, Ezekiel? Do you have like a festival kickoff movie, or one that rounds everything up at the end? What narrative films are you excited about in the feature category?
So we have two features that are being screened. The first one is going to be, it's called Takeout Girl. And that one is going to be in the middle of the block. We found out that for people that want to stick around for features and stuff, it's probably not the best to have it at the end of a long day. So we switched it up a little bit to have it in the middle. And then on the last day at the Bend, we also have Anywhere. And Anywhere is also amazing because not only is it an indie film that's made by a Wisconsinite named Adam Seidel, but that film has like Sean Gunn as the lead in it. So it's got, some Hollywood people that are coming in and just doing some indie films, and it just shows that, sometimes you can get some people that are maybe a bit pricey that might be willing to do a indie film. So I'm looking forward to having that one being seen. Adam can't make it, unfortunately, but he's going to give me a director's note so that way I can share just, his thoughts and stuff with people at the Bend on Sunday. So it's going to be great.
That's great. Do you have a lot of Q&As, Ezekiel, coming up at this year number 2?
There's a Q&A after every block and every feature block. So I think there's a total of seven blocks of film. Nice. So there'll be, I believe, 7 Q&As. So yeah, I make sure that especially when people get shown, that they get a chance, if they're coming to the festival, that they can, take some questions and, get that added value for a filmmaker.
My guest is Ezekiel Drews. He's the founder of the Milwaukee Independent Film Awards and also a talented actor and the director and driving force behind the film Happy Birthday. The Milwaukee Independent Film Awards are from December 5th through the 7th, coming up fast. Where can people get tickets, Ezekiel?
So if you go to our website, which is MilwaukeeIndependentFilmAwards.com, there is right at the top, it has where it says this year's nominees. You click on that and it takes you to all the nominees, and also at the very top of that it says get tickets, which will take you directly to our link on Film Freeway, which otherwise is filmfreeway.com/the-MIFA/tickets. So, but otherwise, MilwaukeeIndependentFilmAwards.com, just click those buttons, it'll take you to the tickets area.
It's a lot of work. That's very impressive that you can pull this off. It's nice that Film Freeway exists too, because that takes a lot off your plate. But
it's a great platform.
Let me ask you this. What do you I'm sure this is like almost maybe one of the coolest or most rewarding things you've done when you've made this festival out of nothing, and it seems like it's really jamming and you're only in year 2. But what's more rewarding? You're also an actor. What do you prefer, if either?
That's that is a great question, because the things that I like best, I love acting and I love filmmaking and I love doing the film festival. The film festival really marries the filmmaking and acting stuff together, because if you're an actor, or if you're a director, or if you're a cinematographer, if you're an editor, if you are a musician that wants to compose music for film, if you come to a festival and you meet those people, you can network with people and meet people that are all trying to make these things happen, and it's the best way to find people to work with. And I think we don't give film festivals enough recognition. If this is a platform that people can come together to find other people to work with. You don't have to search, through Facebook and make posts about like, I'm looking for a cinematographer or this. Like, you could show up and you'd be like, I really like this film. This is an amazing film. That's the guy who did that. Let me talk to them after they're done with their Q&A.
That's great. And those of you listening, if you haven't been to a film festival, it's definitely worth checking out. And we were just talking about Q&As. That, to me, is what makes going to a film festival as much fun as watching the movies are, and that's a blast. Listening to the filmmakers and their process, especially when there's a film you really responded to, makes it totally worth it. And that, to me, is where you really get your bang for your buck. So check out the Milwaukee Independent Film Awards from December 5th through the 7th. Can we keep you for a couple more minutes, Ezekiel?
Yes. Definitely.
All right, we're gonna do a very short break. Oscar from Madison says the name of Rob's show should be "Come On Over." Okay, I like that.
That's a good Wisconsin one.
It's a good Wisconsin one. Steady Eddie in the 608 says, Pete, I agree with you about your choice for favorite disgraced athlete. Let me paraphrase Shakespeare. A Pete Rose by any other name would smell as stinky. Oh man. Steady Eddie and John from Madison can have an arm wrestle over this one. And John, I don't think we can push the screening on the 4th, but he said you could just show up super late, holding up the show's start like many badass A-list actors, which I am not, but thank you, John. Your peers might do. 9 p.m. start time would be perfect. All right, we'll see what we can do, John. Thank you, guys. Keep those texts coming. We'll be back in a couple minutes with more with Ezekiel Drews. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite.
Hey, it's Amanda, and we all know that Northeast Wisconsin has some of the best events around, but trying to find them all can be tricky. So here at WGBW, we decided to do the work for you. Prevent boredom on any night by going to WGBW.fm and click events in the top right corner. You'll never have to spend forever scrolling to find out what's going on in your area. And if you got an event to share, hit us up by emailing info@WGBW.fm, bringing you local news and timeless hits while giving you the 411 on what's happening in New Wisco.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Wisconsin. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the WIAA and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
Small businesses are the heart of America. As the nation's largest nonprofit resource of expert business mentoring, SCORE has helped millions of entrepreneurs build their businesses for free. Find a mentor today at score.org.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Teachers are diverse, skilled leaders, innovating to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Teaching shapes lives. Are you ready? Explore teaching at teach.org, supported by the U.S. Department of Education and 1 million teachers of color.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you.
Welcome back. We are about to close things down here, folks. It's been a fun night here. I would like to thank Rob Brackenridge and my current guest, Ezekiel Drews. Thank you for all your texts and calls. Tom from Monona in the 608 says, hey, Pete, since you are in Green Bay, I'm changing my answer to Mossy Cade, the anteater. Forgot about that guy. He was a Packer, I think, in the 80s. Good one, Tom. You can change your answer. There's no rules to this. And Eric from Madison in the 608 says, thank you for the like, Pete. Great show tonight. Thank you, Eric, for listening. Sydney on social media says, Sammy Sosa, stop drug testing. We're here for the dingers. So some people answer that question like they really have a favorite. They like them. And some were like they liked how insidious they were.
I guess mine was I really liked the player, and I felt really bad for what happened to him.
Yeah. Well, should reword that a little better next time. All right. We have a couple more minutes with our guest. He is the founder of the Milwaukee Independent Film Awards, which take place December 5th through the 7th. They have a ton of films, different genres, great documentaries, and great venues. And it's only the second year. You're in this for the haul now, I would assume, Ezekiel, the long haul. Because like this, I asked you about acting versus founding a film festival. You kind of have to keep your attention first and foremost to the film festival, I would imagine, because 1 year, if you slack off, that could be curtains, as they say.
It's true. Yeah.
Where can people see Happy Birthday?
Happy Birthday is available on Amazon Prime Video for rent and purchase. So it's if you just search, you'll see a picture of me with a see-through mask on it. But yeah, so Amazon Prime Video.
I have to check that out. I've not seen it yet. Can you tell us a little bit about the movie? What is it, a horror film or drama?
So it's a post-apocalyptic pandemic political thriller drama.
Whoa.
So it started off as a short film that I had written the script for, and I, as I mentioned before, I was like, well, if I'm going to do this, I'm just going to do it right. So let's turn it into a feature. So I ended up adding all sorts of different storylines and stuff, changed some of the basics of the characters and stuff. And overall, it became a stronger film by doing it that way.
Wow.
And so I just had a lot of fun doing that. We had over 60 people that were actors involved, along with another 5 to 10 crew members as well. It's around 70 minutes, which is a great start for my very first feature, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, and we had a screening of it back in June of last year. And so I had a Q&A for it, and a lot of people were asking me, they're like, so, are you going to make, a sequel? And I said, well, I didn't really have any plans for a sequel, because who wants to just keep going with another post-apocalyptic, continuation? I'm like, this isn't The Walking Dead. So I came up with an idea at the beginning of this year, and I thought, okay, well, I've got an idea. So let's make a prequel that kind of ties some sequel elements into it. So that way we can kind of have that. So, and that is The Deep State, which I know JB Thompson is working on getting a sneak teaser trailer to show at MIFA. So I'm going to knock on wood that he'll get that done. So we can hopefully get a sneak peek of what that might look like on probably Sunday the 7th.
Well, keep up the great work, buddy. It's very impressive all you're doing, and you're managing to juggle it all. And I wish you luck at this year's festival. Break a leg and try to get some rest and have a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's the plan. We're going to have so much fun. We'll just have to take the week off of work after.
And please never take that outfit off. I think you're going to meet a lot of people like that.
Oh, well, the plan is to wear this for sure throughout the weekend. Maybe I'll switch into the original pink suit for Sunday.
You have the best wardrobe of any guest I've ever had on. I'm just going to say that right now. So
thank you.
Keep it up. All right, buddy. Thanks a lot. We'll see you in a couple weeks, and best of luck with everything. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks, Pete.
All right, that's Ezekiel Drews. Check out the Milwaukee Independent Film Awards. A lot of movie stuff coming up, Conrad.
Yeah.
You got a lot of movies to watch. This will be fun.
I'm excited for The Running Man. I'm going to go watch that. It's this weekend, right?
It's this weekend. Yep.
I'm definitely going to it.
Big theater releases this week, too. Yeah, Running Man. I'll check that out. I don't know if I'm going to rush to that. What did I want to say?
I'm running to Running Man.
Are you
not taking the car?
I'm going to trot. To The Running Man. We've got a couple social media text we didn't get to here. Janet says, definitely OJ. I can't even call orange juice OJ since, And then this is funny. Mike Desatel on the text said, next text, he says, OJ Simpson, he was an incredible football player and a halfway decent actor. However, well, They both said, well, I don't
No, I don't. Can you explain? What did he do? What did he do?
I must have zoned out there. Vince Moranto, our stand-up comedy friend from Chicago, says, if I'm watching The Naked Gun, I think that answer is obvious. Wow, everybody on social media hates O.J. Simpson. Scott Tom, Madison-based Scott Tom, great guy, says Greg LeMond was disgraced for his truth-telling options by Lance Armstrong et al., and LeMond was the true sports hero. Finally vindicated when Armstrong was proven to be doping. Thankfully, Armstrong was stripped of his titles. Armstrong should be no one's favorite. Yeah, boy, he fell hard. I made it through a whole show without my glasses.
Yeah, it's good for you.
It's not too bad.
I couldn't do the same.
How are those pretty strong? You have bad eyesight? Like if you took them off?
I couldn't see any. Yeah.
I probably read some stuff wrong tonight because it was blurry, but that's okay. Made for a good show. Thank you, everybody. Have fun with John and Gordy Thursday and Friday, and I will be back on Monday. We've got more great stuff on tap next week. Have a great weekend. Have a great Thursday and Friday. Con, take care of the joint while I'm gone.
Maybe a little kegger in there or
Be
something.
nice to those guys, will you? I know you don't like them personally, so just try to do a good job for them. All right, on behalf of the lovable producer, Conrad, I'm Pete Schwaba saying good night, Wisconsin.
I know you try the best you can. Need to breathe in more of that second hand.